We are looking at a very interesting subject today, the subject of words, one word in particular. The word is kick. Kick. Words and phrases. We often think of the word kick as being a verb. You kick someone. You might kick a thing, an object. You might kick your car in the morning when it doesn't start because it makes you really, really angry. So we are looking at words and phrases connected to kick. There are many ways of expressing this particular word. There might also be some naughty words as well, some slightly rude words as well today. So there is the warning right now for those who might be sensitive to those sorts of things. I suggest you go and lie down in a dark room right now. Here we go then, the word kick, to strike out. Strike out. Using one's foot. You kick something. So it is generally an action, a thing you do. However, we can also use it figuratively as well. So it's not always an action that is literal. Sometimes it is also an action that is not literal. A forceful attack using the foot. So it can be something you do with your foot. You kick something, kick. Or it is something that you are doing forcefully. Maybe in an angry way. You kick something. Maybe you kick the door. Or maybe you kick a person. Please don't do that, by the way. I do not condone. I am not saying it is good to kick someone. Please don't do it. To strike an object with one's foot. So you might kick something with your foot, kick a ball, you might kick the door, you might kick the dog. Please don't do that either. Please don't kick the dog. I know sometimes it is annoying. The dog will bark when you want it to be quiet. It might jump up on your bed and do a wee-wee whilst you are asleep. It can be very annoying, but please, whatever the dog does, please don't kick the dog. It is not very nice. The word kick can also mean give up or stop doing something. You kick something. So you might use this figuratively to show that you have stopped doing something. You kick the habit. You kick something that you don't want to do anymore. Quite often it is something you don't like doing, but you can't stop doing it. Something like smoking, drinking, drugs. Dear. Playing computer games. Maybe you are trying to kick the habit of spending all night playing one of your computer games. So it can happen. There are many things that you might find that you don't want to do anymore. You might kick a habit. So a certain type of habit you stop doing, you kick the habit. You might kick smoking. I'm going to kick smoking. I'm going to stop doing it because it is bad for my health. Even though I don't smoke anyway. I've never done it. Can you believe it? I have never smoked a cigarette ever in my life, even though both of my parents used to smoke quite a lot. So I did not need to kick the habit because I didn't start it in the first place. Then we have another phrase that uses the word kick. We can say that something will kick off. Something will begin to start doing something. You kick off. It means you begin doing something. You start doing something. You kick off. You begin doing that particular thing. The match will kick off at 3. So that means that the football match, or any game, in fact, will begin at 3 o'clock. It will start at 3. The match will kick off at 3. What time is the kick-off? So if someone asks you that question, what time is the kick-off? What time does the match begin? So you can see the one at the top is actually being used in a different way from the one at the bottom. So to kick off here is the verb, and the kick-off here is the noun. What time is the kick-off? What time is it? So kick-off can be a noun or a verb. The kick-off is, or they will kick off at a certain time. So the first one is the noun, the kick-off is the actual thing, and the verb is the action of beginning that thing. The actual beginning, the actual kick-off. Here's another one. A fight or trouble might suddenly kick off. Something suddenly starts. Something begins. Something starts very quickly without any warning. Maybe something that is aggressive or violent might suddenly kick off. A fight or trouble might suddenly begin or start. We say that it suddenly kicks off. A sudden state of chaos kicks off. So when something kicks off, it means it starts, sometimes quite suddenly or unexpectedly, without warning. Maybe a fight kicks off in the local pub because everyone has had too much to drink. A fight or trouble might suddenly kick off. A sudden state of chaos kicks off. So that is how we are using that phrase. As a phrase, something might be a kick in the teeth. So this is an expression. It's not literal. So this particular thing is being used figuratively, not as an actual action. So as a phrase, something might be a kick in the teeth, a hurtful action towards someone or from someone. Maybe a person does something to you and you feel very hurt and upset by it. Maybe the action of another person upsets you. You feel as if you have been kicked in the teeth. It feels like a kick in the teeth. I can't believe he did that to me. It is such a kick in the teeth. Used figuratively, not literally, unless of course you have been in a fight where someone has literally kicked you in the teeth. A hurtful action towards someone can feel like a kick in the teeth. So we are using that particular phrase figuratively, not actually. Here we go. Here is the warning once again for those who are easily offended or upset. So I'm telling you now, we are going to say some rude words here. To give someone a kick up the arse. If you kick someone up the arse, it means you scold or warn a person for their laziness or poor performance in their job. You give them a kick up the arse. So again, this is figuratively. You are not using literal terms. You are not literally being kicked up the arse. You are being told off You are being scolded by your boss. They are telling you that you have to improve your work. You have to work harder, or else you'll be out. We will give you the sack. So you might say that you are getting a kick up the arse. You are being told that you have to do something better. You have to improve your performance. To scold or warn a person for their laziness or their poor work. Have you ever been kicked up the arse? Have you ever been lazy in your job or at work? Perhaps someone has had to tell you to improve your work harder, or else you'll be out the door. To give someone, I can't believe I just said that. I said it about 8 times. You might get a kick out of doing something. You might get a kick out of doing something. I get no kick from champagne. It's a song, by the way. A kick in this use is a thrill. Ooh. Or pleasure. Something that gives you pleasure. It makes you feel excited. Maybe something you should not be doing gives you a kick of some sort. Maybe a person who is not very nice, they might get a kick out of being rude to other people. I saw a film the other night, by the way, that deeply disturbed me. It is one of the most disturbing films I think I've ever seen. It's a very old film. Mademoiselle, if you ever get a chance to see that film, it is a really, really disturbing film. That's all I'm saying. I watched it the other night. Very old film. I think it was made in 1966. I think it's an Italian film, but all the people in the film are English, or they're speaking English. And to make matters worse and more confusing, I think the film is set in France. But it is a very disturbing film. Mademoiselle is the name of the film. He seems to get a kick out of making people cry. Some people do. Why is that? Why do some people enjoy making other people unhappy? Very strange. He seems to get a kick out of making people cry. He seems to enjoy making people feel upset. She gets a kick out of shoplifting. Ooh, Mr. Duncan, that is very naughty. A person who goes shoplifting is a person who goes into the shop and they steal things. They put the things in their pocket without paying. They shoplift. Some people get a lot of excitement from doing that. I suppose it could be exciting as long as you don't get caught. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's a good idea. There is someone I know, in their childhood, they used to go shoplifting. I'm not saying who it is, but it is someone I know, and I know them very well. But when they were young, they used to go shoplifting with their friend until one day they were caught doing it, and they had to go to the police station, and they spent a short time in the police cell. So don't do it. Be careful. Some people get a thrill. They feel excited when they do something that is naughty, such as stealing from shops. Please don't do it. I don't advise that you do it. But there was someone who used to do it. They don't do it anymore because they were caught. You know who it is. I know who it is. I was very shocked when I found out that that person used to go stealing from shops. I was actually quite upset. Here's another word we can use when we are dancing or performing. You might do a high kick. Beep, 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 boop. You might lift your leg up very high when you are dancing, like those ladies from the Folies Bergère. They might do their high kick. They lift their legs up very high. I don't know how they do it. Or maybe a ballet dancer, of course. A ballet dancer might lift their leg up very high as they are performing. I don't know how they do it, but I'm sure it must come in very useful for certain things. To lift one's leg high up whilst performing is beep, 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 beep. A high kick. High kick. You can kick your leg very high. Unfortunately, I cannot kick my leg very high. I can't lift anything, to be honest, very high. It takes me 10 minutes to get out of bed. I have to lift one leg over the edge of the bed slowly, and then I have to bring the other leg to the edge of the bed, and then I have to slowly turn myself around as I slowly come to terms with another day of existence. So no, my days of high kicking are well and truly over. Not that they existed anyway, to be honest. I could never get my legs very high, despite the rumours. Here's another one, by the way, another warning. If you are easily offended, upset, please don't be, because I am telling you now that we are about to say kick ass. Kick ass. To kick ass is to attack or beat someone up. But not like that. That's not really beating someone up. That's nothing. Can you imagine me in a fight? I wouldn't last very long. That's all I can say. To kick ass is to attack or beat up someone. You attack them. There was a film, wasn't there, called Kick-Ass. In fact, I think there were 2 films. And did you hear yesterday, apparently one of the stars from Kick-Ass, the movie, is going to be the new James Bond. I don't even know who that person is. Never heard of them. A kick-ass is a person who can go around beating people up very easily. Maybe a tough guy. Maybe a person who is very strong and they can take care of themselves. Or, of course, to kick ass is a verb. So you are beating someone up. You are actually beating that person up. You are kicking someone's ass. To get your ass kicked is to have been defeated or beaten in a fight. Maybe someone beat you. Maybe you decided to have a fight with someone and the other person beat you in the fight. You can say that you had your ass kicked by someone. You got a good ass kicking from your neighbour. Have you ever had a good ass kicking from your neighbour? Has your neighbour ever come round to complain? Or have you ever been round to your neighbour and complained to them? And maybe they've become very violent and threatened you. So, this might be my last ever live stream. If it is, thank you for watching me for all of these years. It was lovely being here on YouTube. It was ever so nice. Okay, I'm not going to say that again, just in case. Just in case YouTube come around and they might cut my wire, which apparently is very painful. The enjoyment of something is to get a kick. You might get a kick out of something that is enjoyable, something nice, something that's fun, something that is harmless. So earlier I said that people can be rude or nasty or horrible and they enjoy it, but this is to do something that gives you genuine pleasure. It gives you enjoyment and you love doing it so much. You get a kick out of doing it. I get a real kick out of learning new English words. So that might be something you say. You might say, Mr. Duncan, I get a kick out of learning new English words. You enjoy it. It is a thing that gives you pleasure, enjoyment, satisfaction. You feel as if it is something that you want to do all the time. It is something you enjoy doing. You get a kick out of it. It feels pleasurable. It feels like something that you want to do again and again. But this is a nice thing. Maybe something that you enjoy. Maybe you like going out for a walk in the countryside and you like to see all of the beautiful nature around you. You might say, I get a kick out of walking in the countryside. It gives me a lot of pleasure. I enjoy doing it. It is very nice indeed. And that, as they say, is that. I would imagine that a lot of people will know other words and phrases connected to kick. In fact, there might be quite a few, but the ones I've showed you today are the most common. They are the most common forms of the word kick.